Hello and welcome again. This is the Cardomancer, and today we are here for a special new, not new moon, what am I saying? It's eclipse season. We have it in eclipse, and I thought I'd do a eclipse specific reading. It is the 24th today, so yes, the eclipse should be starting Taurus Scorpio axis tomorrow. So we'll have a week or two of a lot of things shaking up. Maybe a lot of realizations, a lot of just impactful energies. I got my lab, got my quartz here. But yeah, let's just dig right into it. So as usual, we'll be starting with my homemade Lenormands. Is that everything? Yeah. So try to come around here. I have a little precarious setup going on right now. So we have our Lenormand, and today we are asking, what can we look forward to for this eclipse? And I even thought about doing some elemental specific draws, like for air signs, fire signs, earth signs, water signs, something specific that might be on the horizon for them, but we'll kind of start pulling. So far all of my readings have been sort of off the cuff, like I like to just dig in there and see where we end up. Very candid. So we'll kind of see where we're drawn to, but let's just start off with the Lenormand for what can we look forward to, or what is coming up starting tomorrow for this I think last eclipse of the year, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but for this Taurus Scorpio eclipse, what are themes coming out? What do we need to know? What is important for us to keep in mind? What are the themes? Here we go. 1 and 2. 2 of the girls. Already we're seeing some. I love this. 2 of my favorite cards. So Child got pulled first, then the Clover. So the Child, make sure all of those are visible, push those up, make room. The Child card, number 13, going out to a 4. New beginnings, children, toddlers, naivety, playfulness, innocence, immaturity. So overall positive card. Both of our cards are overall positive, so that's already a great sign. And we have some Leo Sun energy. Timing is temporary or soon. Same with the Clover card, number 2, opportunity, luck. More about the small victories, those small little bits of luck, small happiness. So everyday joys, optimism, humor, hopefulness. Again, short time and overall positive. And then we have Sagittarius and I believe Jupiter. No, yeah. yeah. Saturn. Still getting my rooms down. But Child in the Clover. So the Child is our subject. So new beginnings, new starts. It could even have to, like I said, have to do specifically with children. Maybe there's a new child coming here, and this could be something regarding a child or a toddler, or just something young and new in your life. And with these new beginnings, there are opportunities. There's luck around these new beginnings. There's luck or some sort of optimism, some sort of joy surrounding these new opportunities, or around these the children in your life, around the toddlers in your life. The Child gives a lot of Fool vibes. The Fool, new beginnings, just kind of blindly going in, that sort of almost blank slate. So yeah, Child and Clover, this is a good look. We're starting off to a good start. This is very exciting. Very excited what the rest of the cards have in store for us, clarifying this. But so far, yeah, we're looking at a general sense of new beginnings, starting over new. They're trying to just think about some other ways that this can be interpreted. And I don't want to necessarily go for something that's negative interpretation, because again, these cards are overall positive. But there could just be sort of like a I'm getting like immature. It's just like I said, that fresh start, not really maybe knowing what's gonna happen next, but knowing that there is opportunity there. There is optimism there, even if there's not surety, I guess is the best way to say it. But yeah, let's go into the tarot. I am looking currently at the decks that I have, trying to decide. I think we're gonna go with the crows today, actually. Got our crow tarot here. One of my favorites, my sweet little angels. I love it. One of these days we're gonna get into 3-card Lenormand, pull another card, but I thought I'd just start off with 2, keep it simple. But yeah, we have our crow tarot. Give you a little glimpse at what those are looking like. Our sun card. A couple of these are upside down. Is that 7 swords? Bop, bop, bop. Very gorgeous. Love these cards. These are actually some of my favorite. I love crows. Love them so much. I think we saw our crow oracle the other week when we did our reading. But Spirit, for the collective, what can we expect? What do we need to know? What are the energies present for this eclipse coming up? What are the energies present? What do we need to know? What's going on with these new beginnings, these new opportunities? What is going on here with these new opportunities? Clarify this clover and child for us. Oh. Ooh, we had a Knight of Cups pop out sideways. I'm not going to take that, but we're just going to acknowledge that the Knight of Cups is there. Cups having to do with creativity, passion, emotions. But yeah, let's clarify this child card and the clover card so we can get some more information for this eclipse. The hermit. Okay. And for this clover, woo, reverse 3 of clubs. Okay, interesting, interesting, interesting. So plop those down right over here. So for the child, we have the hermit, and for the clover, we have the reverse 3 of cups. So as usual, I'm just going to do like a quick, let's get this centered a little bit more. I'm going to do a quick kind of naked interpretation, just what I see versus any meanings that I've like gathered, you know, from studying, from my notes, anything like that. The hermit is usually having to do with isolation of internal self. I like to think of it as, center these a little bit more, but looking into yourself, more close to the tower, that kind of, I don't want to say loneliness necessarily, but just being on your own, sitting in your own thoughts, figuring out what it is that you need, going back in all of your experiences, and that sort of downtime of reassessing, having that quiet time to reassess your thoughts and feelings. And with the 3 of Cups, usually this is the card of celebration, fun, you know, getting it going with the homies. But reverse, it could definitely mean very much the opposite. Kind of tagging along with the hermit, maybe a little bit more isolation, or a little bit more, I'm not necessarily getting isolation, but I'm getting more going at it on your own, not relying on other people so much, but maybe making decisions of your own accord and not based on what other people are telling you, or based on what other people are doing, most importantly. So yeah, let's take a look at our hermit. So for the hermit card, I'm looking into my little notes. Forgive me, you know. There's many cards that I know right off the top, committed them to memory much more easily. Sorry. And there are others that I like to just keep my notes on hand, so I can make sure I'm getting a full picture of all the possibilities. So yeah, with the hermit, there may be with this child card some new beginnings, that there may be multiple options. There may be a lot of new beginnings or a lot of pathways you could go. And the hermit is really asking to, like I mentioned, just look into yourself and evaluate with yourself what is the best path for you. What is your best new beginning? Especially with this naivety here, being sure that you're making decisions based on what you want to do. Not allowing, I feel like this kind of came up last week, not allowing those opportunities to take advantage of you. Getting the insight that you need, following your own intuition to know which things are actually for you, or which things you're just kind of being led into out of habit or out of, how they appear on the surface. But yeah, it's really the self-wisdom, being able to choose your new beginning, choose your new pathway, based on what it is that you know to be true, what it is you know is best for you, and not what other people are telling you is best for you. Because everybody always has an opinion, but at the end of the day, you're the only person that has to live your life. So you may have a lot of options out there for you. Don't let other people tell you what the best option is for you. You have to do it, so you make that decision. Free will. With the Three of Cups reversed, yeah, so this could have to do with I'm kind of getting again that maybe the decisions that you're wanting to make might be being clouded, or might be being maybe influenced by others, and it may not even be direct. It could just be something that you are allowing. It could be something where maybe you're unsure of yourself, so you're kind of allowing other people to give their input more than they need. When I channel, I kind of just say what comes to my mind, so this may or may not resonate with you. There may be parts that do and parts that don't. Take what resonates, leave what else doesn't. That might be for somebody else. So going more into the Hermit, we'll look a little bit more in depth into that. Yeah, so we're in that meditative phase of trying to figure out what it is we want to do next, what new beginning we want to take. And let's see, bear with me for a moment, y'all. Yeah, listening to your inner voice, not anyone else's, is going to be very pivotal in deciding what it is that you ultimately end up doing. Again, sort of a read for myself, so I definitely feel that. It may be that with the Three of Cups reversed, things are not going necessarily how you want, and that may be what's allowing for other people to make their suggestions, or to allow other people's opinions or like viewpoints on your situation to matter at all, for lack of a better word. But there could be some uncertainty. Maybe you've been in a situation where you've been kind of like feeling like there were no opportunities, or feeling like there was an absence of this clover energy, but it is there. You just have to kind of move away from making decisions. I'm hearing making decisions for other people, making decisions with other people in mind. I know that sounds very harsh, but this is like a reoccurring message. I feel sometimes I get repetitive when I look into certain cards. Like, I feel like I don't want to say the same thing over and over, but what I'm really getting is that this is the opportunity, this is here, and you have to be very careful of not letting, or the universe is pushing you to make those decisions for yourself and not allow the group or what other people are saying or what they're doing to influence what it is that you want to do. You have to move away from trying to make everybody else happy, because you have to take care of your own happiness first before you can start giving and sharing that with other people. So yeah, this Three of Cups, whatever this opportunity is, there could even be issues with, like, maybe there's somebody here that is trying to take away from your optimism about these new beginnings. Someone that's trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? Not depreciate, but they're just basically trying to make light of, or make it seem like the opportunities that you have are not as important or as big, or maybe they don't think that it's what's best for you again. But you know what's best for you. if you don't, then you need to take the time to go inward and to really look at your internal workings and what it is you've got going on, what it is you want. What it is you want. What it is you want. I feel like there's always going to be a point where just here's something I got to say 3 times. What do you want? What life do you want to live? Not the life other people think you should live. Not the life that is the most safe. That's a big one coming through. Not the one that's the easiest. Not the one that's the safest. Not the one that provides the least amount of friction with other people. But what it is that you want to do. What opportunities do you want to take advantage of? What opportunities are giving you that sense of hopefulness, that sense of like joy, excitement? Again, very much in that same energy. So I do resonate with that for whoever that is for. Yeah, this is getting exciting. This is really like unfolding. Let's dig in. We might do a few different oracle cards. I do like my TBB deck, so we'll kind of get into some. Let's see if there's some specific. I do like this deck because I do like it for getting some more really just specific themes and ideas. But yeah, right now we're the overall energy is there's some good new stuff coming through, but you have to have the courage to take it for yourself, to do it for yourself. It may seem very counterintuitive, especially to people that are stuck in like people pleaser cycles, or just people that like are used to caring for other people above themselves. You really have to, the universe is asking you to move away from that and make those decisions for yourself. What is best for you? What will bring you happiness? They don't want you sitting in a corner upset for the rest of your life because you decided to do what other people find fun, what other people find fulfilling. So Spirit, what are other energies? Clarify these energies on the table for me. Got a card there. Ooh, happiness. Anything else? Oh, okay. Let's see how many we got here. I like to do even numbers. So we got social media, small business coming up again, death or rebirth, happiness, flings, and you know what? We'll get one more. I like when it's even. Oh. Friendship, earth sign. You know what? Now I gotta get one more for here. It's just how it happens. Let's just do one more. One more, please. I'm only gonna take one. One more. Wow. Okay, we got some interesting stuff coming in here. I will say we also got, fuck it, might as well throw them all down there. We got no. I'm thinking that these are really touching on each other. No. Blessing in disguise. Extra past lover. We got, it's gonna pop all these right here. A lot more cards than I thought I was gonna get. Oh, you know what? Let's smush these in there so we can see everything. So we got small business, social media. We got, squish all this over, fling, blessing in disguise. We got friendships. We got, look, friendships, earth sign, happiness. So, yeah, there could be earth sign involved. Again, we have the friendship card coming up again, so this could have a lot to do with your friendships, your connections, happiness. So whatever choice you make will bring you happiness, or should bring you happiness. It should bring you into that. Fling, so this doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. This could just be something that you're really just, I'm hearing like a job that you just kind of do just because, but it doesn't end up being permanent. So this could just be a kind of fling that you're in. It could even be a friendship that maybe was thought was going to be a bit longer lasting, but it doesn't end up being, and it could be because that friendship is you know, kind of pulling you away from what your goal is. Maybe they're telling you things, or telling you to do things, or suggesting things that aren't in your best interest. Blessing in disguise, we got extra past lover, and no, these three came out together. So if somebody tries to come out, and again, this doesn't have to just be a person, this could be a job, it could be any opportunities that are no longer in your field anymore. Maybe it wasn't good for you, you left it behind. If it's not good for you, do not go back to it. Just don't go back. No point. It's a blessing in disguise. It's something that it may have sucked to let go of, or it may feel like, oh, I don't want to let go of this opportunity, but you may need to. Because once you let go of that, you have the death and rebirth. You have the ability to start anew. You have ability for this new beginning to actually come in, and to bring happiness. There could be some earth signs involved in that. And then we have social media and small business. So you could be looking or going towards a small business, trying to start something here. Social media may be a very big crux for that. And just as well, that social media can cross over with your friendships. If you're trying to build that online base, if you're trying to build your small business, you may have people within your social media sphere that are, either boosting you up or telling you some complete opposites. You could have your ex, crawling up in your social media or whatever, trying to creep back in. No. Death or rebirth, let it fall away. Anything you don't need, let it fall away. But just as well, these friendships they don't have to necessarily mean that, oh, okay, you got somebody in your corner that's not really looking out for you. We don't have a lot of like envy or like, hidden enemy type things, but there may be some friendships that you need to focus on or that you need to cultivate with more. You need to cultivate more that are healthy for you, right? Maybe there's some friendships that you've had that are not really bringing you happiness or that do need to fall away, and there are other friendships that you could be putting more energy into that will help you more to find happiness that you want, to have the right people in your ear encouraging you rather than telling you what you're not able to. So that's just kind of the precursory. I feel like I always kind of skim over it afterwards and find other things. I'm like, oh yes, that's awesome. But yeah, optimism, happiness, we got the new beginnings. Man, yeah, be careful. This is loud. Be careful, it's not worth it. I know. So we got a couple other, I'm very excited, I want to keep going. Let's do our urban crow. We'll match up the crow cards. We'll throw a couple oracles out here. So we'll do urban crow oracle. We didn't do Ask the Witch today, so we don't have any witchy words. But you know what? Actually, maybe we will. You know what? I'll actually pull this, and we will look at the Ask the Witch and see for the Hermit and the Three of Cups, because they don't read reverses, what information we're getting from that, what they need to let us know. So for the Hermit, the Witch of Endor, your imagination will give you the light to see your way. Walk as a guide and a mother atop the mountain that is blocking your path. In your solitude, discover the voice of a multitude of beings. That is powerful. Yes, you're being guided to really sit in your own intuition, your own inspiration, your own creativity, to surpass all the obstacles that you have with your own strength. Yes, being alone sometimes, being in that quiet can really help to push away all of that extra noise, and really amplify the voice that's coming from in you and not from everywhere else. That idea of like all this noise, this chatter, all these like, little flies in your ear, just you need to go somewhere where you can push all of that away. For our cups, our Three of Cups, find your community like an intertwining of souls and trust. Family is not where you are born, but where you settle. So yes, putting energy into friendships that are empowering for you, that are mutually beneficial for you, that are joyous for you, that are evolving with you. And let's get, where did I just put, oh my goodness. I didn't just lose an entire deck of cards. Okay, here we go. Like, I put that damn crow oracle down somewhere and I completely lost it. Shuffle these babies. Try to shuffle them in such a way where we don't mess up our whole little display. We'll get some advice. Some advice for this. Ooh, terrible shuffle. See, it just happens sometimes. We'll get some advice for this. Oh, goodness. Get to see my very bad shuffles. Get some advice for this eclipse. How can we ensure our most positive forward motion? Let's get some advice. How can we ensure our most positive forward motion, our most positive evolution this eclipse? This eclipse, what do you got for us? So what do we need to know? What's the advice for this eclipse? Freedom. Boom. I want to take another one. I'm being called to take another one, so I will. I'll take 2 this time. Took 1 last time, I think. Anything else? I mean, if it doesn't come out, you don't want it, but, you know, we'll see. Anything else? Woo, 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 woo. Too many things else. Too many things else. Oh, okay. Resistance. I'm sorry. I was going to say persistence. Freedom and resistance. We got 19, which goes to 10. And we got the 4 coming up again. We got the 9. That's 9? Yeah, 9. So we got the 3s. Let's take a look at both of those. Freedom and resistance. So number 19. Freedom. Tongue twisted. Freedom brings the message that you do not need to stay where you are. You can change your position. Woo, already. You hear that? You don't have to stay where you are at. Death and rebirth. It can end. You can go, you could do something else. You do not need to stay where you are. You can change your position. You can rise up and see the world from a different point of view. You have the wings. All you need is the desire and self-confidence to fly. Freedom brings movement, flexibility, and the ability to expand your horizons. Whether it is freedom to travel, freedom to make decisions at work, or freedom to splurge on your favorite meal, when this card appears, you may need to ask yourself some questions. In which areas of your life would you like to expand your freedom? What is your definition of freedom? Whew. Look. Freedom. Getting away from it all. Yes. Freedom. That could be a really good thing to ask yourself approaching new opportunities. What does freedom mean to you? How will these opportunities give you the freedom that you need? Are you at a job where it's the job prospect you have is really tough on the hours, you don't have a lot of room to move? Is it something where you don't feel like you can express yourself freely? This is something really important to ask yourself when you're going into any new opportunities. How free do you feel? How, I want to say loose, how comfortable, how innate do you feel? And then we have the resistance card here, 40, resistance. There may be a strong wind coming your way. However, you do have the ability to find a path with the least resistance. Have you ever seen a crow get thrown by the wind? The bird may get taken off guard, but it finds its balance again. I think balance is what we got last week. Resistance brings an obstacle or adds friction to a situation. Ideas that once would have sailed into completion might now require some additional work. You may find a project or goal now requires an extra step to pass on to another phase. Resistance might manifest itself as a need for approval from an outside influence that takes longer to achieve. When resistance appears in a reading, you're asked to be adaptable and find the path of least resistance. Things don't have to be hard. Things don't have to be hard. And I feel like a lot of the times, if you, as the crow does, just sail through that wind, kind of boneless your body, move through it, figure out whatever causes you the least amount of effort, the least amount of strain, and just kind of sit in that, float through that. Just sit in that and float through that experience. It will end. It's not going to be struggle forever. You know, there is going to be a point in which everything equalizes, and it's about your perseverance in that. And I want to say, what was that? I felt like I read something else that really like popped out to me. Let's see. So yeah, projects or goals that may require extra steps. So it may not be something as easy or straightforward as you thought it was going to be. There may be something else where, you know, it takes a little bit longer for something to happen, for this new opportunity to manifest. This resistance might manifest itself as a need for approval from an outside influence that takes longer to achieve. Now, that was very loud to me. And that isn't to say that you should kind of ignore that need for reassurance from, but it could just be that it's something where you don't have to wait for that reassurance. You know, maybe it's something where you're creating resistance by needing other people to affirm what you want to do. You know, again, people in your ear telling you what will bring you happiness when you know better than yourself, or better than anybody else what will bring you happiness. Evaluate whether or not that is something that's actually relevant, that needing for someone else to pass it on. It could be something, though, as simple as like, okay, well, got this new job coming up and I need somebody else to, you know, confirm this paperwork before I can go to the next phase of this, whatever it may be. Things may not be happening in the timing that you originally assumed. That doesn't mean it's not happening. Just float on the wind. You know, that wind is not going to go on forever. That gust of wind isn't going to be blowing you back forever. You just got to float in it like a crow, you know, just sitting in it. Can't really see my arms. I'm making kind of a wobbly crow gesture right now, but just sit in that and wait for it to pass, and then things will continue moving. Like, we do have this this pretty quick timing, so it's not like it's not going to happen, but don't take any amount of resistance as like, it's never going to happen. Evaluate. It's not as simple as, you know, if there's resistance or if there's not resistance. It could be that there's resistance but things are still going to move. It could be that there's resistance and they don't need to move. You need to sit with yourself and figure out. The resistance point is a really good time for pause. It's a really good time for, like I said, just sitting in that wind, floating on it, and using that time to figure out, okay, is this the place I want to step? Do I want to step forward or do I want to step back? So that's something that might be really relevant. Evaluating the resistances that are coming up in these new opportunities and determining whether or not that's the deal breaker. And only you will know that. I can't tell you whether that'll be the case or not. Only you are going to know what the deal breakers for you are. But just make sure when you're evaluating those deal breakers, it's coming from what you want in yourself and not from what everybody else is telling you it is going to be. So I'm going to take one more of each. I got our Muno, one of the oldest decks that I've had, one of the first few decks I've ever used as far as Oracle decks. I love her. She's getting a little, not super worn, but she's definitely well used. But we'll get a Moonology card for this eclipse, kind of see what's going on with that. And we will also get a Flora and Fauna for advice as well. So that's some advice that we have for this spread, for this eclipse, for the collective, whoever watches this. What is some information that we can get? Thank you again also for being here on this journey with me. I feel like every reading I do, it's giving me more insight into myself, into my reading style, helping me to learn and commit to memory different ideas and energies that I'm less familiar with, reaffirming energies that I am already familiar with. So showing off my terrible shuffles. Yeah, so let's see. For this eclipse coming up tomorrow, what is it that we need to know? What's some advice here for the collective in this eclipse? Ooh, what's the advice here for this eclipse coming up? Damn. Okay, so we got a lot of cards here actually, and I'm gonna take a look. I'm saying, look, once you open up that third eye, the messages are loud. Look, these decks also, they've always been real motherfucking loud. They will scream. New start is coming. New moon. The new start is coming. It's happening. And another one that popped out, as it happens, North Node, step out of your comfort zone. New moon in Aries. It's time to take action. So we got 2 new moons here. 2 new moons in the North Node as well, which is about with the South and South Node. Ooh, with the North and South Node, the South Node is where you are coming from, what you have accomplished in your past life, what you've already done and are moving away from, what you've already committed. North Node is the things that you are mastering in this life, the energies that you're moving towards in your evolutionary journey. New. We're here with like new. This is a just new number who dis sort of energy. Like, we're coming into these new opportunities. I love seeing things like this. I love seeing these affirmations, especially with reading for other people, you know, reading on the internet publicly for the first time. It's really nice to have these sort of confirmations here, you know, like it's easy to doubt yourself. It's easy when you've been used to reading only for yourself. It's like, you know, maybe I just only have, you know, maybe I'm only reading for a small. But seeing these types of things really is affirming for me, because it lets me know that we're on the right path, that the energies are present and are loud, very loud. But let's see for this new moon card. And I do like to read these. I like to read these pretty fully because I think that there are a lot of specific information within. They have a lot of stuff on like attuning, additional meanings, and I think that going through this, there's always something that can pop up where it's like, oh, you know what, that was actually specifically very important for me, or very on the nose for me, I guess. So for the new moon, there is a yes coming your way. This is one of the most auspicious cards in the deck. It's totally positive and suggests something new and exciting is developing. The situation you're asking about is blessed, and you are on the target to receive your goals. The message from the universe is that you're starting all over again in some way. Death or rebirth. Be that on a new or better course, or just feeling more positive about achieving your desired outcome. If you've been feeling stagnant, this card reminds you that life goes in cycles and you're moving into a new cycle. I love it. I love it. This is the time to wipe the slate clean. If the situation you asked about has become toxic, either that will clear up now or something totally new and fresh is on its way. We are getting rid of what we don't need and starting blank slate. I feel like I said that early. Blank slate. Blank slate. And this is your opportunity to start from the blank slate and make those decisions from your own self. Attuning to the moon. I'll see it when I believe it. So that's an affirmation that you can say to yourself. I'll see it when I believe it. Believing is a very large part of actualizing. Additional meanings. A new start is on its way. You'll soon start to feel more hopeful about getting what you want. Your belief that your dreams can manifest is working well. Forget about the past. Forget about the past. Forget about the past. Child, forget about the past. We don't need it. I think it was like maybe a Bronx reading that I saw recently where it's like, do not go back to what you've already left. Could have been Bronx or Keno, but it was like, once you leave it, don't go back to it. Just not for that. It might have been the Gemini reading, if you want to check that out. And then our teachings with the new moon. The new moon marks the start of the waxing cycle and the midpoint of the dark moon. It's a dark and veiled time when the moon is invisible, and a time of rebirth. It's a time that witches do their work, making wishes and laying down intentions for the new cycle, an intensely magical time when it's easier to pierce the veil into other worlds. So now could be a good time for you to set a manifestation with yourself on what goals you have going forth. That blank slate. What is it now that you have that blank slate that you want to grow from that completely, freshly tilled field? With our new moon in Aries, the flame is lit. A wonderful new start beckons and you're on the right track. Drawing this card is a superbly positive sign if there's something you want to happen in your life. Take this card as a big yes from the universe. We got 2 yeses. We said no to this. We said no to this. And we're getting 2 yeses from that. This is the time to really tune into your dreams. You may still have a long way to go. After all, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, but you're on your way. Determination, self-assertion, and bravery are called for, but the hot fire of Aries is driving you towards success in whatever endeavor you're talking about. The caution, don't go too fast and forget your manners. Treat people well as you change, and that could be what this 3 of Cups is also pointing towards. On your journey forwards, don't stomp on the people that were there helping you on your way up. Don't rush past everybody, knocking them back. Have consideration on the way up. Treat people well as you charge towards your goal. You'll create much better karma for yourself. To attune, your affirmation is don't even think about giving up. This could also mean like do your best and be happy with that. Avoid being brash. Creating a 12-month plan, or a new male coming into your life. Cool. So this could also be referring to this. Maybe we're letting go of this past situation so that a new situation can come in. You never know. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so the new moon in Aries is the first of the 12 or 13 new moons of the year. If you're committed to working with all the lunations, the new moon in Aries is the right time to start. And drawing this card, no matter when you do it, signifies it's also the ideal time to start your moon work, such as setting intentions. As I said, now's a good time to set intentions for this eclipse especially. And then let's look at our North Node card. Step out of your comfort zone. So this could be the biggest thing coming up is it's a blank slate and not going back to what you are used to. Look. Not going back to what you are used to, not just going back to what is easy, going in a new direction that is going to possibly be challenging, provide some resistance because it's not something that you're used to, but it's going to allow you that new freedom. You're going to have the freedom, and more into that, you'll have the freedom to make that choice for yourself. You know, maybe in past situations you haven't even had the idea of what freedom was to you, so you weren't even able to make a choice towards that positive ideal. But this is a new opportunity. We're starting off new phone. Who this? So with the North Node, there's a strong feeling when you get this card that it's time to leave the past behind somehow. Wow. Because you're headed in the right direction. If you want to be happy and fulfilled, you need to get going towards doing the thing that scares you within reason. This card is all about living your life's purpose, which is possibly what you've asked about. I don't know if you can hear my dog tinkling in the background, but my apologies. It's urging you to dare to do something different with your life and your direction, to take action. So are you willing to follow through and lead the life you incarnated to live? If you finally find the courage to make the leap, there's a good chance you'll come to ask yourself, why did I wait so long? Why did I wait so long? You know, your affirmation, I know I'm headed in the right direction. We are headed in the right direction. We are moving up and out. Additional meanings for this card, you're headed for something which feels like destiny. You need to face a fear and get over it. Time to stop obsessing about someone or something. Woo! Cha. Stand on your own 2 feet. Stand on your own 2 feet. Follow your own intuition. Use your own power. You've got this. This last affirmation, you got this. The North Node is where the moon crosses the ecliptic going north. It's a karmic point, and on the horoscope chart shows us what we need to do and where we need to go with our life to find satisfaction, fulfillment, and happiness. The North Node is the karmic astrological point that reminds us that in order to discover new oceans, we have to be prepared to lose sight of the shore. We have to be prepared to move away from what is usual for us. Ooh, yes. That's good. That was a good one. That was some powerful, very affirming. We are digging into this time, but I think that is appropriate given the transits and the energy that is laden in this eclipse, last eclipse of the year. I say uncomfortably. Let's get a flora and fauna. This will be our last little affirmation / advice card for this eclipse. And we'll just get one of the ghouls. Thank you again for being here today. I hope that this has been enlightening so far. This has really been a powerful. I love how we started. That's why I love incorporating the Lenormand. We start with this very forward, very to the point concept, and we just expand upon that. So this is sort of my favorite type of reading to do. Once I started learning Lenormand, I kind of just I can't not use them. They're just my little fun little cards. Love them. They've provided me with a lot of deeper insight into what I have been asking for myself. So hopefully that will be the same for y'all. So let's see, what is our, here we go. Yes, we got the Springbok. We have, I don't know if you can see this, it's a little small. We have the Oak. We have Devotion and Duty. Springbok. Focus your energy and deal with things now. That is how you turn your fantasies into reality. So, again, we got that new moon. My dog just yelled in the background. We have this new moon coming up. There may be things that you're thinking about doing. There may be things that you've been contemplating, ways in which you can achieve your freedom. I don't know if you can hear my dog yelling in the background, but he's affirming this as well. Do it now. Put the energy into that now. Stop holding it off. I've had to tell myself the same thing, even just doing this. You have to just do it. Oh my goodness. My dog is screaming. But yeah, do it now. Don't wait. Don't hold off. I'm keeping all this in. I'm going to keep this in because he is screaming. He's yelling. He's trying to reaffirm for everybody. But put that effort into that now. Don't wait. Don't hold it off. Don't, oh, well, I don't have the, just do it. Sometimes you have to just throw yourself into it. You got the clean slate. Just think of this as a nice, fresh cushion that you can jump right into. Just this endless hole, this endless there. So just jump into it. Don't try to hold yourself back with what other people will think, what other people are trying to tell you is best for you. Know what's best for you. Think about what's best for you and make those decisions for yourself. Because you can't help anybody else until you've helped yourself. I think that's about it. Yeah, I really loved that. That was really great. I'm hoping that everyone has a very enlightening and forward-moving eclipse season, we'll say, for the next couple weeks. I know it can be rough sometimes, especially when we are resisting those changes, when we are resisting the things that we know we need to either let go of or move towards. But it's okay. It's okay. Look, resisting. I just thought about that. Like we may be the people that are resisting these new changes, resisting these maybe quick turns. Maybe it's something completely outside of the path that you had been walking. It's a little side path that you didn't really see, and you're kind of resisting going down there, even though you see at the end of it there's something there that's lighting you up. Think about not just how it's not just always about what the world is bringing you in form of resistance, but how are you resisting your own growth? Yeah, that was a word. But yes, thank you for being here with me again. I hope that this was very enlightening. Let me know in the comments if this really sat with you, what parts really hit you. And, you know, in future, I'll hopefully be expanding my readings maybe more frequently. Or I was, as I mentioned before, thinking about getting into pick-a-cards as well. So maybe that might be something that we dabble in when I have a little bit more time on my hands. At the very least, I'm hoping to do some elemental readings for each of the elemental groups. Do a quick maybe 3 or 4 card spread for each sign within the element, but we'll look into that. We'll get into that when that time comes. We'll focus on the now. So thank you for being here with me. Thank you for chilling out, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.